Welcome everyone to True Real Heat. We are back, baby. We are back with the True Hill Heel. The True Hills.
Actually, go that way, but yeah, you know what I
mean. He never stops.
All the time.
Welcome back, and we are back with the count. This is where we count down our everything from the wrestling world, from best faction to best matches to best shows. This time, we're gonna give you a top 10. We are coming off of WrestleMania 35 week, and we saw so many great matches, from Battle Club Pro, Women Crush Wednesday, to the Rev Pro shows here in New York, to the WrestleCon Super Show and WrestleCon US versus the World. You had NXT TakeOver New York. You had the G1 Supercard. You had DDT. You had Impact, United We Stand. You had MLW, and you had WrestleMania.
You know that Impact one. Sorry, not sorry.
So many great matches, so we got to give you a top 10. Before we give you that top 10, we want to mention a very honorable mention. The honorable mention that we're going to mention was one of the matches that was different from everything else. It was kind of a palate cleanser on a very long show on Saturday, and that was the ladder match for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. My boy, Jay Lethal, defended against the villain Marty Scurll versus the new ROH World Heavyweight Champion, the Madison Square Taven himself, the King of the Kingdom, Matt Taven. This was a very interesting match. I myself felt it was too long, but definitely worthy of an honorable mention.
Damn. That match didn't even make the top 10.
Yes.
This is going to be an interesting count, guys. So
we're going to run through the first 5, and the match quality was so good during WrestleMania week. I know a lot of people are going to be upset that these 5 matches are in the bottom 5 and not in our top 5. Coming in at number 10 was from TakeOver New York. It was for the North American Championship, Velveteen Dream versus Matt Riddle.
Bro!
And the best description I saw of this match was, did you think 5 years ago that you would see a stoner MMA fighter versus a Prince impersonator on the biggest weekend in WWE history?
I mean, to have a match that is in contention of being match of the weekend at WrestleMania weekend? Hell fucking no.
Don't get much better than that, and this was a match that definitely exceeded my expectations. Talk about this match, the only thing I can say is the greatest 9-minute match in professional wrestling history. It's from the G1 Supercard. It was Bandito versus the Junior Heavyweight Champion Ishimori versus the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Dragon Lee. Oh my God, I've never seen so many spots.
Well, goddamn. Awesome. Wow. This is going to be an interesting top 5. That made number 9? Whoa.
Number 9 at 9 minutes is the Junior 3-way.
9 at 9.
Number 8 was the opener from the G1 Supercard. It was title versus title. The ROH TV champion, Jeff Cobb, defending against the never openweight champion himself, Will Ospreay. This was a great opener. By far, 2 guys that are tremendous, 2 different styles just coming together and having a great match.
Top 3 opener of the weekend. That was definitely number 3 for me for the openers.
If you said that, he said that's top 3 openers for the weekend. What a weekend.
Right.
Number 7 was another opener from NXT TakeOver New York. It was the War Raiders defending the NXT Tag Team Championships against the winners of the 2019 Dusty Road Tag Team Classic, Rico Black, Ricochet, and Aleister Black.
To me, that was probably the number 1 opener of the weekend. That was, wow, awesome. I mean, great way to get my Friday night going, with some good old-fashioned great wrestling to kick off my weekend.
And for you, someone who wasn't planning on going to take,
I literally didn't at all.
First match confirmed, you made the right decision.
I mean, both you and the producer just said, just go. And at 5:30 p.m.
Don't forget Miss Chrissy Love.
Chrissy Love put my bag in the car, so she literally just demanded me to go. Like, I had no option at that point because I couldn't get home. So I had no option at that point.
Pretty much. Number 6 is what many are calling the best pure wrestling match of the weekend, and a lot of purist wrestling fans enjoyed this match the most. It was Volta defeating the 685-day reign of the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne, for the WWE UK Championship. And my God, I was in the 100-level section seat. You could hear the chops from there. And you can see Pete Dunne's chest becoming the same color as his burgundy trunks.
Yeah, that's literally all I heard was, like, it was thumps. It wasn't even like loud slaps. It was like thumps. I don't know how it sounded on TV. I heard thumps. Like, it literally it sounded like wood was hitting wood. Like, you just heard thumps hitting each other. And it was like, holy shit. I don't think the body's supposed to be meant to take that kind of punishment.
Felt bad for Peter.
Like,
I felt bad.
You saw him at the end of the match. Like, he was literally laying on the turnbuckle.
Bad. So coming in at number 5 was a match that wasn't seen by a lot of people. A lot of the matches that we're covering here were on the G1 Supercard on NXT TakeOver New York. But this one was on the WrestleCon Super Show that wasn't aired on pay-per-view or streaming. But this one was one of the best matches of the entire weekend. It was the main event. It was Bandito going one-on-one with Will Ospreay in one of the best high-flying matches I have ever seen in person. The fans chanted 5 stars after this match. It was just tremendous. And they threw dollar bills into the ring. So they showed the respect to the Mexican himself, Bandito. And this was the match that I really learned that Bandito is legitimately 100% one of the next big stars in professional wrestling. The dude's only 24 years old.
He is not even like scratched his prime yet. Like, wrestlers, there's a difference between like athletics and wrestling and athletics and sports. Athletic wrestlers, they hit their primes in their early 30s. He hasn't even began his prime yet.
Exactly. And that's a scary proposition.
Wow.
I hope we see a lot more Ospreay versus Bandito matches because the world
only thing that scares me about Bandito is ROH.
Lizard Man, I hate you. Coming in at number 4.
Thank you, Delirious.
Was the biggest moment of WrestleMania week, and by far, I think a lot of people are very happy that it was a great match that preceded such a monumental moment. It was Kofi Kingston defeating Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. The post-match, the pre-match, the match itself, everything about this was classic WWE, and WWE doing the predictable thing but doing it right. And Kofi Kingston got his moment in a tremendous match.
The champion is black. The rest of you were blue. WWE gave the big fuck you. Loved it. Loved it. About time you got it right.
I just got to give it up for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, since his whole heel turn, has been putting on just tremendous performances. Like, as a heel, I forgot how good in the ring he is as a heel because he's great on the mic. And 10 years ago, I probably would have never said that Daniel Bryan is by far the best on the mic in WWE, but he is right now. But Daniel Bryan's heel work in the ring makes you boo him, makes you want to see him lose, and made you cheer Kofi Kingston even more. There was people in the crowd crying, and it all had to do with the great performance that these guys put on in the match, the build-up to the match, and the performances there, and then Kofi Kingston getting his monumental moment, and then the post-match with his kids, with the New Day, with the new t-shirt, with the new WWE title or the old WWE title. It was just a great moment.
I mean, if you would have told me 6 months ago that Daniel Bryan would have been in contention of being the best heel alongside Tommaso Ciampa, I would have looked at you and slapped the shit out of you with the cup that is on this table right now and told you to start watching wrestling again because you had no idea what the fuck you were talking about.
Well,
but 6 months later, you would have been absolutely right.
And you would have been able to smack him back.
And I would have just ate all the crow.
With a chancleta. Coming in at number 3 from the G1 Supercard, this was probably the most athletically like pleasing on the eyes matchup of the entire weekend. It was Tetsuya Naito going one-on-one with Kota Ibushi. Just the energy in the crowd before the match, before the bell, as soon as the bell rings, there was a standing ovation. And people saying, holy shit, to a match that we've seen about 3 or 4 times since 2017, but this was the first time in the United States that it happened, and just amazing. The one spot I have to point out is Ibushi with the Hurricane Rana off the apron. Oh my god, I never popped out of my seat and did like, what the fuck was that? And oh my god, Ibushi is amazing to watch in person. He's just so athletic. He is so talented, and Naito just knows how to work a crowd and get the biggest reactions out of the crowd, and these two went out there and had a classic.
Ibushi and Naito literally makes me look at myself at when I'm like 35, 36 years old and like, where have I gone wrong in life? They are 36 years old and they look like they're fucking teenagers. Like, the athletic prowess that these two Asians have is unlike anything I have ever seen in my life. And when they put it together, it is wrestling gold. And all you could do is literally sit back and watch. And if you blink and you miss something, you done did yourself a wrestling injustice. Because these two, wow. Like, well deserving of that. Arguably could even be higher on this list. But they landed at our spot at this. And I think the other two matches are going to speak volumes as to how. But wow. Like, that was probably my favorite match from G1. But, we got to rank this the way we rank it. But that was my personal favorite match probably from the entire show.
I mean, I don't blame you for saying that, because honestly, I had this match ranked with the match that's just above it from the G1 Supercard. But Naito and Ibushi, I got to give it to you guys. You guys went out there and almost killed each other in the New Japan Cup. You guys almost killed each other in Madison Square Garden, but not as dangerous, but just as great of a match, and I have to hand it to you for that. Coming in at number 2 was, in my eyes, the greatest babyface performance I've ever seen live. It was, and one of the best heel performances, and just great wrestling storytelling at its finest. The main event of the G1 Supercard, it was Jay White defending the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against the Rainmaker, the 2019 winner of the New Japan Cup, Kazuchika Okada, and Okada made it rain again. His 5th reign as the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And my God, the main event, the number 1 match that we ranked number 1, had probably the best ending, the best last 15 minutes, but the best last finishing sequence of any match WrestleMania weekend was Okada and Jay White.
Yeah.
Just the many turns, the Rainmakers, the switch into the Switchblade, the turning Rainmaker, the spinning Tombstone. It was just twist after twist after turn after twist in that final 5 minutes, that final finishing sequence between White and Okada, and just Okada being treated like a god from start to finish, and then the ending with him with the title, seeing him in Madison Square Garden doing the Rainmaker pose was just a surreal moment for me as a professional wrestling fan and as a fan of Okada. That was just a tremendous match.
Literally, I would say the greatest babyface performance since the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7. Like, pure babyface, pure heel. One man is literally trying to take your heart from wrestling and beat the biggest thing in the business, and the biggest thing in the business overcomes it all and just does it in the cleanest, most wrestling way possible by out wrestling you. Like, it was such a thing of beauty. Like, we've seen good matches before, and we've seen good babyface performances before, but immediately, for me, that's what I thought of. I thought of WrestleMania 7. Of the classic heel in Macho Man and the classic babyface in the Ultimate Warrior. There was no more clear and concise heel and babyface to me with that pairing than this pairing right here. We all knew Jay White was the one that is trying to rub it in your face, trying to basically stick it to the man and say, this is who you love, I'm about to bury him. Macho Man dropped 5 elbow drops on the Ultimate Warrior and said, this is your hero, this is what I'm going to do to him. And Okada, like the Warrior, came out and overcame it all and defeated the imposing heel. And it was literally one of the greatest like feel good heel babyface stories ever, with the babyface actually reigning supreme, and you don't really see that often.
Exactly. And it was just very different from the number one match. The number one match had a different like atmosphere at the start, and based on how it was booked and how the performances was, that reaction kind of switched. Whereas this was from start to finish, you knew who the babyface was, you knew who the heel was. Jay White had great heel work. He literally did something that I don't think a lot of heels understand, is you have to read the crowd, and you have to read the crowd to find out what they want. And as a heel, you're not supposed to give it to them. So he would be like, you want me to throw him over here? I'm going to throw him over here. There's simple things like that make Jay White, he's 26 years old. Like, he has his whole career ahead of him. This first run as the IWGP Heavyweight champion was a success. And he passed it on to an even bigger star. And he's
Jay White literally did the, you want me to throw him out the ring? I'm going to give him a European uppercut instead. Like, screw what you want. This is what's going to happen. Like, epic.
Great heel work. And number one, I think this comes as no surprise hearing all the other matches that you've heard so far. It is the 5.5-star highest rated matchup from Uncle Dave Meltzer in history from WWE. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano.
Baby!
TakeOver New York for the NXT Championship. 2 out of 3 falls. My God, it was the greatest match I've ever seen live. Just two surreal performers at their peak, and performing at their peak, and just creating a great atmosphere. The first 2 falls were good to very good action. A good story of Cole. Cole was the heel, of course, in this story. But when he came out at the Barclays Center, he was treated like a god. And every single person was on their feet saying "Bay Bay" for his Adam Cole. Every person was cheering him. The very pro Adam Cole fans were even booing Johnny Gargano, who's one of the purest baby faces in the world.
He even got his good guy faces back on his entrance music.
Yes.
Not even the sour faces.
Yeah,
he got back his good guy faces.
He got the good guy faces. He came out with the Iron Man.
Yo. He came out like an Avenger and all.
Johnny looked great, and he was still booed by those very pro Adam Cole fans, and just the greatest use of an outside interference, like JJ said on True Heel Heat 31, the greatest use of an outside interference since the Attitude Era, with the Undisputed Era coming in, because the whole story of the match was Adam Cole is great. Adam Cole is good. But we don't know for sure Adam Cole is as great as Johnny Gargano. But if Adam Cole is not as great as Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole is smart enough to have his boys as backup. That was the whole entire story. The first fall showed that. It showed that Adam Cole is probably as good as Johnny Gargano, because he beat him on his own. Then the second fall showed that Johnny is probably that much better, because he was able to tap out Adam Cole
in like 5 seconds.
And then the energy in that third fall, just when they went face to face, the crowd going crazy.
Oh my God,
that everything that we just talked about with Naito and Ibushi, everything we just talked about Okada and Jay White, and they combined it into one huge matchup. And just the near falls towards the end, the near fall of Adam Cole hitting the last shot on Johnny Gargano and kicking out. I have never been a part of a crowd reaction that crazy like that near fall. The near fall caused a roar in the Barclays Center.
That feeling, I'm going to say, for that feeling, I don't think I've ever had a feeling for a match like that since Rock Hogan WrestleMania 18. Just that pure want for the other guy to just kick the other one's ass, but the other one is just earning the respect that is like you're literally cheering both people at the same damn time. Like, it doesn't happen often. The magic isn't created that often. But when that shit happens, I swear to God, you better not let no one interrupt it. You better not let no one get in your way. It is the greatest wrestling feeling you're ever going to have. Because you are 100% invested in whatever the outcome is. They went at it, and you were involved in every move. Every 5 seconds, you are chanting, Johnny wrestling Adam Cole, Johnny wrestling Adam Cole. Like every
Or you were like
minute,
me and chanting both these guys.
you were you were so invested, and it doesn't happen that often. But when it happens, it is it is why you become a wrestling fan. It is why you become a wrestling fan. So it might be a different match for you per se, as to what I said. Like my feeling for that was Rock Hogan at WrestleMania 18, when it was, I wanted The Rock to kick his ass, but when I saw that Toronto crowd, it literally just swayed my mind and just was like, holy shit, why the fuck do I want Hogan to win? Like it just happens. So it might be different for you, but for me, it was that, and that's how that happened. Like, I was literally all the way Adam Cole, screaming at the top of my lungs with whatever voice I had left for Adam Cole. But damn, that third fall happened. It's like I'm finding myself, as I'm cheering at Adam Cole, I'm saying Johnny Rex. I'm saying both chants at the same time. It was damn, like it was. You don't get that. You don't get that, and I love the feeling, and I wish I could just sit in that building and watch that match like another 10 times, because that was probably the greatest live match I have ever seen in my life.
I think we both echo the same thing when it comes to that. So that is our edition of The Count, very special WrestleMania 35 edition.
Chrissy, we still miss you, boo.
We miss Chrissy Love, and she'll be back on True Hill Heat 32. So coming in at number 1 for the best match of WrestleMania 35 weekend, it was Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship at TakeOver New York. Post your comments and tell us your top 10 matches from WrestleMania weekend. We missed a lot of different shows. Red Pro had 2 different shows. WrestleCon US versus the World. DDT had a show. Evolve 125 had Kyle O'Reilly versus Austin Theory. So there was so many matches that we missed. So please post in the comments a match that we might have not mentioned, or a match that you really enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe. And until the next edition of The Count, this is Top Guy JJ, I'm SP3, and we're calling out.